Hello and welcome back, and thank you for joining me. I have been playing with the new Autumn Winter catalogue stuff, and I particularly like the Trim Your Stocking set, and this is the start of an advent calendar that I'm going to make, and you can see it's got a one on it, and I just think they're really cute, and I have used our twine there for it, and I've attached it on the outside there with two half circle inch punches. Oh, what am I like? But we do have a die that goes with the set that punches out like that as well, and it just opens up and you've got a little pillar box in there, and that bottom's secure for putting a little treat, or you can put a gift card in. It's kind of what they're designed for. And I have got a card somewhere, I can't see one. Usually got a little old credit card somewhere on the desk to show you that it fits, but I can't see it just now. Right, so when I made this, I kind of didn't like the way the back looked, and I thought it would be better if we could fit the stocking around the back. So I did another one where it's a stocking on both sides, so it's a bit more sort of rounded, but we got into trouble when we got to the bottom, and so I kind of used the bit that I cut off here, that little bit there, I used that to form a little insert in there, but I'm really not quite happy with that either. It's a bit messy. I'm not sure. What do you think? It's a way of getting around it. It was a bit fiddly. But then I thought, I know, if that was all cherry cobbler, then that would be okay, and then it would give this, the paper was a little bit more, I mean, it's given a bit of strength by having the end bits on, but it might make it a bit more longer, because I would actually like this to last, you know, Christmas on Christmas. So what I did was I cut out a stocking in red, and then I cut out a bit in pattern paper, and I'm going to glue that on, so that way the back is all the one colour. So that is my idea. And in the die set you get a little slit, you get this, and somebody asked a question on one of the forums, what's it for, and somebody said it's for putting a slit in for attaching a ribbon. So that's what I'm going to try to see if it looks a little bit neater than that, because that looks a little bit of a mess really, doesn't it? So I've used some paper from the retirement list, because I really like this sort of red and I want to say cherry cobbler. It's not. The red is cherry cobbler. The neutral one here, crumb cake. God, brain, engage. So I really like that sort of look, and I did an advent calendar a couple of years ago, and I used craft card to make little milk carton boxes. So I kind of wanted to stick with that sort of same theme. So this Warmth and Cheer, which is on the retirement list, not the retirement list, it is retired, on the clearance rack. It's still available, so I went with that because for this project that's what I wanted it to look like. So I've cut all the bits out, ready to save time. So the first thing I want to do is cut that that half semicircle bit off the top, so that it fits nicely on the front, because if this was stuck on this bit, it would get a little bit awkward in the folding over. so I figured I'd cut it away and then just stick it on, and then we haven't got any worries with this bit folding over. It wouldn't look so neat if I'd left that piece on and had to stick that to there as well, so I'm not going to. So because it's paper onto card, I can use snail, but I'm going to use Tombow because I want a little bit of wigglage, and I actually want to make sure that it sticks all the way up to the edge. So I'm just gonna, that will squeeze that way a bit as it goes down. So that's why I haven't gone totally to the edge, because I don't want it to come out. I want it to make sure that it goes up. So allowing myself a little bit of wigglage to make sure that it's stuck right. That's what the Tombow gives you, which is why it is my glue of choice. Oh, look at me, flying away. So there, so that's nicely stuck on there. And I'm going to decorate the front of this whilst it's flat, because it's easier than when it's stuck to the pillar box. So again, I'm going to continue to use Tombow to stick it all on. Remember, the stitch bit is on the inside of your stocking, not along the outside. And that's how you can stick it in place. So I am going with the fact that it's got Whisper White in the stocking, so that's why I've chosen the Whisper White. Red and white, very festive colours. And so this one, as I say, the stocking, the stitching is on the underside of that. Very quick to glue it all together. And I did cut off this as well, but I'm not sure that I'm actually going to bother with that. I might put it there, a bit of tone on tone. Might be better if it was red, wouldn't it? Yeah, I might add that after. Right, so I'm going to stick Snowflake in the middle, blue blobs. Could use my fine tip glue pen for this, but if you're careful, Tombow works. I've just smudged. It's all right. I will wipe that off after. There we go. And then there is a coordinating stamp set that goes with this set that has buttons, and I thought that that just looked lovely in the middle. This one isn't from the coordinating stamp set. This is from an old hostess kit, Love to Sew. So I've just took that button there and cut it out with the little button die that's in there. These little circle dies that come with the set coordinate with the embellishments, the buttons that's in the stamp set. I say I didn't buy the stamp set that went with this because I didn't want it. I didn't like some of the other elements, and there was another stamp set that I wanted more, and you have to make your choices, don't you? And I already had button stamps, so they were actually the only things that I actually wanted. I've got an adhesive remover, so I will get that off when it's dry. So that's that done, and that's the front of my stocking. And now to make the back. Now I made a little boo-boo. I cut this out ready. I put the slit on the wrong side because that's where the school lines go. So I need the slit on this side because I want it to hang from that edge. So I'm just gonna, although there's school lines on there, I'm just gonna have to fold them the other way. It's not a disaster. So I'm just gonna fold them that way. It still works. It's not like there's a right and a wrong side to the cardstock. So that will still work lovely. I'm gonna give these a fold so that the cardstock knows where to go. Give it a slight pinch as it goes around. And at the top there. And then I'm going to take my ribbon, and I've chosen this ribbon from the annual catalogue because of the stitching on it. I thought went really well with this. So you can either have it with that stitching or the cross stitching, and I decided the cross stitching to sort of marry up with the snowflake was my thoughts. So I'm going to stick that in place before we put it together. So I'm just going to feed that through so it's sort of hidden, and I'm going to stick it in place with some strong double-sided sticky tape, which is here. This is some super adhesive strong stuff. Keep it in place because the idea is I'm going to give this as a gift with a gift card. We give our nieces and nephews gift cards at Christmas because they're all teenagers now, and they can choose what they want. So I'm going to take Tumbo because we want wigglage, and I'm going to put Tumbo right to the edge and then along. Do that on both sides. And then we're going to stick this together. So going to match the top with the top so that we know it's in the right place, and glue it as it goes down. I have done quite a few of these now, practicing, so hold it in place for a bit to make sure it's together. Tombow dries and holds firm quite quickly, and then do the same on the other side. You do get a little bit of glue on your fingers. So I'll just hold that in place as it goes down. And that is it. So I am just going to hold that in a bit. And getting my adhesive remover now. Those bits where I've managed to get a bit of glue on there will just come nicely off. Great for all your mistakes. Okay, so now this should be ready to pop out. So the one with the finger hole, put that in first because that's the one that you're going to want to pull it up with, and then that one folds over nicely there, and then at the bottom this tucks under, and we want it to secure in place so that whatever you put in doesn't fall out. So I just stick a bit of Tombow on there as I'm folding it under, get it in the right place, and then I open it up and I get my bone folder and I go down to where it is and I just push it together like so, and that is it. So that is one with a ribbon, that's one with a bit of string, that's one where it's got a paper backing, and that's one where it's all red on the back. So it's up to personal preference what you prefer. I like that look there, so it's all plain on the back. It's also a little stronger, and that's with the little slit there for the ribbon. Okay, so one for a gift, one the beginning of an advent calendar. Love this set, so I hope you like it too. You can click onto my blog to see some more details about this project and some more photos of other things that I've done. And if you haven't yet got your new autumn winter catalogue and you'd like a copy and you don't have a demonstrator yet, it would be my pleasure to send you a catalogue if you live in the UK, and just drop me a line on my blog and I'll sort that out for you. Thank you, bye.